Hey guys, it's Andy from The Great Gear Off. I'm here in my office. You can see all my gear messed up and stacked up behind me. In this video, we're going to go into the Nifty-50 Challenge Charts Extended Edition to compare the Voigtlander 58mm 1.4 SL lens against the Super Takumar Pentax screw mount 50mm 1.4 lens, as well as the Sony 50mm 1.8 SL OSS lens to see how they stacked up against each other in the charts. It's a little more in-depth than what we did in the first episode, The Great Gear Off, but let's go check those charts out. We shot on the Sony a6500 in stills mode. We used 6000 by 4000 resolution and Sony RAW, and used a 3:2 aspect ratio chart. We finished the video in 4K. This is a Voigtlander 58mm 1.4. A little softish overall, same with the Takumar at 1.4. The Sony 1.8 looks sharp all over. This is a side comparison. You can tell the difference. The Sony is quite a bit sharper. But the Voigtlander Takumar, it's not horrible. The Voigtlander is a little better than Takumar, but the Sony kind of outshines them. And now we stop down to 2.8. The Voigtlander is amazing. It's like contrast and overall sharpness is great. The Takumar sharpened up a ton. Sony sharpened up a little bit, but kind of stayed the same. So now we'll compare the Voigtlander, the 1.4, and we compare it to at 2.8, and you can see the big difference in just color and contrast and then sharpness overall. It's a pretty huge jump between those two stops. And now we go into 200%. The Takumar 1.4 is, decent open, but when you stop down to 2.8, it's a lot better. It has a slight green cast to it, but otherwise it's a pretty great image, especially for a lens that only costs like $75 used. 2.8, you can see at 200%, it's quite a bit sharper. And the Sony, good contrast and sharp pretty much all over at 1.8 as well as 2.8. It gets even a little sharper, but just a little bit. Contrast and the overall sharpness is pretty good, not that much distortion. What did you expect of a modern lens? So that was the Nifty-50 Charts Extended Edition, just more in-depth look at the lenses compared to each other as well as compared to the wide open aperture and 2.8. The Voigtlander was amazing from 1.4 to 2.8. I mean, it was amazing the difference that it changed. The Takumar also had a big jump between the two. Didn't get quite as sharp as the Voigtlander, but it still sharpened up quite a bit. The Sony didn't change very much from 1.8 to 2.8. It's a great lens wide open. But that's the Charts Extended Edition of the Nifty-50 Challenge on The Great Gear Off. If you want to go check out that episode, you can find a link in our channel or down the description below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw. I'm Andy from The Great Gear Off, and we'll see you next time.